Welcome to Wrestling Hill Talk, where we talk all things wrestling old and new. I am Heckin' Steve. We've got the Tribal Chief, Will. We've got Roger Elkins II, champion extraordinaire. Ben Bowman, one half of the tag team champs. Dr. Nick, right center. And we've got the Wise Man Kevin. And special guest this week, we've got Lorenzo Ariola from the That's All Funny podcast and the That's All Kayfabe podcast. And then we have the insider, Manuel, with us. How's everybody feeling this week?
Doing great.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's been a little bit of a long week. What are you recovering from, Dr. Nick?
Oh, I'm sick again.
Oh, man.
I got that stupid sinus crap.
You know what, man?
Cedar?
You know, I told Roger that he needs to change the batteries in his smoke alarm before we started, and he said he was just going to throw it away and get another one. Maybe that's what we ought to do with Dr. Nick's sinuses, man. Throw them away, get him another set.
Telling you.
But anyways, we do have two guests with us today, so I'm going to give them a moment to, give themselves a little introduction here. So, Lorenzo, since you're on the left, go ahead and start, and then we'll get to Manuel.
Yeah, my name's Lorenzo Ariola. That's a real last name. A lot of people think it's a stage name. I don't know why I'd go with that. But, I just have a podcast called That's All Funny. Comes out every day. Have a podcast called That's All Kayfabe. Talk about wrestling, the renaissance that's resurging that happens once a week with my buddy Gabe. And I don't know. I've liked wrestling as a kid and then came back to it when AJ Styles was the Royal Rumble. And I've been keeping up with it ever since now, pretty much.
Hell yeah. It's been a while since he was in the Rumble now, like almost 8 years, I think.
Yeah, that's when I came back. So I missed a lot of John Cena stuff and Batista stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it's fun.
Good thing about John Cena is if you've seen one John Cena match, pretty much seen them all.
Hey.
Hey, man. I mean, dude, pump up the shoes and do the.
Technically, you couldn't see him.
That's true.
That's true.
I'll watch every damn one of them, and I don't care if they're the same or not.
I mean, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
I think he's a cool cat. He's a cool cat.
All right, what about you, Manuel? I'm never gonna say your name right.
Hey, I've been called worse. Trust me, I've been called worse. My name is Manuel. I don't have a cool podcast like Lorenzo, which wish I did. I've been a wrestling fan probably my whole life. I've been to probably 100, 200 shows. Episode. Just recently got started into collecting thanks to Ben. It's fun. It's kind of expensive hobby, but I love it. And I just want to give a shout out, happy birthday to the late great Big Boss Man.
Happy birthday! I did not know it was his birthday. I guess it was a couple days ago, wasn't it?
Like I think May 2nd. Is it today?
That is today. Okay.
Today's also National Tuna Day, I believe.
Oh, tuna.
National Tuna Day.
Tuna Day. Wow.
So Ben gave you the disease, huh? The collecting disease.
Yeah, he did.
He's nice like
I've
that.
heard that about Ben giving people diseases.
You beat me to it, Will.
He beat himself to it.
I'm disease free. Just throwing that out there.
He definitely does beat himself for sure.
But man just said he beats himself.
Oh, also, for those that don't know, Will is actually in real life my half brother. So like we are related. Of course, I'm the better looking one. Yes.
I must say I see half of him. I see half of him there. So there's one half.
He's trying to flex with the pops up there, the signed pop collection.
No, I'm having to use a backup device. So normally it wouldn't be like that. Normally I'd be at the table, but things didn't work out right the way I wanted them to.
The head of the table?
Yeah. The head of the table.
The head of the table is actually the head.
And I just realized this too. Like we didn't do the podcast last week, so it's been 2 weeks, and now Will has a beard almost the size of mine. Like in 2 weeks. What in the hell is that about? You've been taking Rolade or something, or Rogaine?
Rolade.
It's growing out.
Yeah, man.
y'all are rookies. When you catch up to me, then we'll talk.
What are you talking about? Dr. Nick is like a veteran over here with that beard.
Why are we bringing Dr. Nick into this? We were talking about you and Will.
I tell you why, because that one time you said "fuck the tribal chief," and
Yeah.
I think I said one time recently, "Fuck Stevie" too.
oh, damn.
We all say that every now and then.
Yeah. See, you see what kind
No.
of respect I get on the show over here.
Actually, no, I told that to Brian. So
Oh, that's true.
Since Manuel's here, shout out to him. He was a big help to us when we went to the Hillbilly Gym signing.
Oh,
He
sweet.
hung out with us up to Indy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great guy.
Oh, so is he the shake pin guy?
Scott Norton loves me. Scott
Scott Norton loves you to death.
It's a weird story, but it's totally super funny. I mean,
You got to tell it because I don't know it.
Now you have to tell it.
So we were in the hotel, the breakfast. We were eating breakfast, and I got like an hour and a half before the lines open, and I'm shaking my pen. I've never used one, so I was like, "Please shake." I'm shaking it, and it is kind of loud. It's like and Scott Norton's like, "Quit shaking that fucking paint pen." And I'm like, "Yeah." Look at my buddy. He's like, "Yeah, Scott Norton's gonna whoop your ass." And I was like,
I believe that too, because I was downstairs and I seen him walking through the breakfast line, and I heard that story later on. I go, "Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with that guy either."
Yeah, Ben was like, I said, Ben, I think I just pissed Scott Norton off. He was like, really? And I was like, yeah. Tell me to quit shaking that fucking paint pen. And then where his booth was, I walked right by him and I was like, uh-oh. I kind of like turned my body. So yeah, Scott Norton, I'm sure he loves me. I'm sure he's forgotten. But maybe if I shake the pen again, maybe he'll.
You give PTSD.
Oh, he told Sonny Ono, he's like, that guy back there at that table keeps shaking that fucking paint pen. And I was like, oh.
You can't mess with wrestlers at breakfast time, man. They only sleep like 3 hours. They're up all night doing speed.
He had like his bag with him, so I don't know if he just came in, but like he looked super tired, and it probably didn't help that I was shaking a paint pen at 9:30 in the morning.
No, definitely not.
You were priming your pen. You were doing what you were doing.
I should have walked over. I should have walked over. And be like, "Hey Scott, can I have an autograph?" Now that I shook my pen.
Hey, nothing's as bad as me shitting my pants on Jake the Snake. And then he thought it was Sabu.
All right, so I don't know if they probably don't have any reference of what you're talking about. He didn't sit on Jake's lap like Santa Claus and shit.
Okay.
I'm walking through and I'm meeting Jake, and I just happened to let one rip, and I'm like, it's not gonna be that bad, and I just, suddenly Jake stands up and does the picture thing and signs my stuff, and he starts going like this, and I go, "What's wrong?" He goes, "Somebody done shit their pants, man." And I go, "I don't know." He goes, "I think it's a goddamn Sabu. He's been shitting all day, man." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, that guy's a dick."
That's funny.
He called him Sabu?
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah. That's what made it even funnier.
Sabu.
He's the scapegoat.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Dr. Nick made Sabu the scapegoat.
I'm ready for some wheel questions.
Yeah, I mean that's the first thing we're doing tonight. We have a segment that we recently started doing called Roundtable. Basically, Will has some questions. He's going to ask everybody randomly. It's going to be a different question each time. There is no right or wrong answer. It's not like trivia or anything. It's just kind of like to get to know more about you as far as like your wrestling knowledge and your favorite shit. So I'll let Will go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, so one of the best things about Roundtable is it gives different perspectives on different, things in wrestling, different, eras and such like that. So my very first question I'm going to ask tonight, this one's going to go to Dr. Nick. So Dr. Nick, just prior to WrestleMania 8, 1992, Hulk Hogan is saying goodbye to WWF, and he's essentially leaving WWF for good because he's going to go to Hollywood and he's planning to be a movie star. And if Hollywood Hogan or Hulk Hogan goes to Hollywood and becomes a movie star the way Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson did in 1992, what happens to the next decade of wrestling with no Hulk Hogan?
Well, I think you would have, especially when, if Hogan had never joined WCW when he did, if he had, I mean, whether you liked it or not, the match, why call it a match, but, when he won the title from Yoko, whatever, the industry itself would have been so different because if he had never made WCW as popular as it was and created that, uptick, I don't know what would have happened. I know for a fact that a lot of guys who, wrestled Hogan, because we can argue all day long whether Hogan put people over or not. Sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't. But there was a lot of people who, if you were loyal to Hogan, he was loyal to you. So a lot of the guys that surrounded him got bigger too. So to kind of compensate all of it real quick is you wouldn't have had a biggest NWO as they did. I don't think if Sting would have been the third man, it would have been as huge as it was. You wouldn't have had, banger matches that they had. You wouldn't have had, that whole just aura of NWO, Hollywood Hogan. You wouldn't have had that impact. Honestly, I don't know what the movie industry was like back in '92. It's much different, as compared to when The Rock went in it. Hogan may have not have made it. I mean, some of his movies kind of tanked. So, yeah, I think we'd be looking at WCW in a whole different way.
Yeah, that's a good point because I feel like he added a lot of prestige to the NWO.
All right, my next one is for Kev Buckler. So, Kev, in March of '96, WrestleMania 12, Bret Hart loses to Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels becomes WWF champion. Bret Hart goes on a 6-month hiatus where ultimately he has to decide whether or not he's going to re-sign with WWF and come back. What if in 60 days after Shawn Michaels wins the world title, Bret's on a hiatus, Scott Hall goes into WCW, and the second guy, instead of it being Kevin Nash, ends up being Bret the Hitman Hart to build the NWO. What happens then, Kev?
I think it still would have worked. I mean, I think it worked great with Nash, but as long as the first guy was Scott Hall, Bret would have worked. In my opinion, Bret would have worked because he was the second guy, and I think Bret would have got it over because they would have treated him totally different. I think it was, because they were never teammates in WWF or E or whatever. Scott Hall and Diesel, they were just friends. So when they showed up together, it's the first time they really teamed up. So in my opinion, it would have worked.
Okay. My next question is for Ben Bowman. Ben, what was the greatest moment of the career of the Macho Man Randy Savage?
It's a tough question. Least would be being an announcer. That was the least. Like where they thought he was too old and would be on the go to the announce team. They're first of Raw and what early to mid '90s. So that'd be the least. Best time would have to be when he became world heavyweight champion in WrestleMania. What was that 4? When he beat $1 Million Man, and they had that little at the Trump Plaza. Yeah, WrestleMania was a 4, and winning that tournament and actually getting that push because right there for so long, first 3 WrestleManias was Hogan or the celebrities the first 2, and then Hogan and Andre 3, but him winning the was the 4th as the main event and winning that title, and of course you got the Mega Powers, which was huge. Him and Miss Elizabeth, him and Jake's rival was great. Him and Ricky Steamboat, that match from WrestleMania 3 was great. I would say WrestleMania 4 to me. WrestleMania 4, winning the world title, winning his first WWF title, and going on and then eventually going to WCW.
All right. Hey, Manuel, my next one's for you. Who
Okay.
is the Undertaker's greatest rival?
Your greatest rival. I'm gonna go with Kane. Just the build up that storyline with Paul Bearer, and just the when I was a kid, just the creepiness of those stories to me growing up was like, this guy's creep. Build up a monster nobody had ever heard of, and then if Undertaker, I'm not gonna fight you. I won't fight my brother. I can't do it. And then they give you that little bit of, okay, maybe they'll get along when they acknowledge each other, and then then they swerve and he still attacks him, and he puts him in the casket and he sets it on fire and chops it with the the wood, or with the hammer or the axe. So just the build up and storyline of Kane, to me, that's probably his greatest rivalry.
Okay.
Good answer.
This one's for Mr. Areola. What is the single greatest match in WrestleMania history?
In WrestleMania history, man, I could probably go with like the one that just came immediately to mind is like Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels, the retirement of Ric Flair. It's just so emotional. It tells such a good story, and I think that was the one that like really brought Ric Flair's confidence back from what he says, like from him not feeling, up to taking his shirt off or feeling athletic. He was in his prime there at 50 years old or 55 or how old he was, still in his prime. But no, I would. That's the first one that just came to my mind. Is like, man, that's a barn burner I could watch. And Shawn Michaels is a magician in the ring. He can make anyone look good. So that's what came to my head.
Roger, other than Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, who was the greatest WCW/NWO World Champion?
To me, you'd have to go with. Okay, repeat the question. You said WCW NWO champion.
WCW or NWO World Champion, other than Hogan or Flair?
I mean, to me, honestly, and I know it's some people don't like this answer, but it'd have to be Goldberg, given what he did and the time he held it and things like that. To me, otherwise you could go back and look. You could go back and say there's numerous you could say, but that's one that sticks out to me.
Okay, very good. All right, I think we're down to just Steven. Steven, what's the best Elite figure WWE Mattel has put out so far?
Man, that's so not Ultimates.
I mean, it could be an Ultimate Elite.
There's a couple I could think of, like some of the Demon Finn Balor ones I think are pretty sweet. I always had a soft spot for the Shinsuke Nakamura Elite, like the very first one they did, not the one that's coming out. Honestly, it might be biased because I love Seth Rollins, but that Ultimate Edition with that fur coat, man, it just slaps.
Okay.
So I'd say the Seth Rollins Ultimate for me.
I think we went all the way around the table. Very good stuff. So one final question, just to throw this out there to everybody. This is something I was thinking about quite a bit. With everything going on with Ronda Rousey right now, with Ronda Rousey being out of professional wrestling, does it impact wrestling at all?
No.
No, not at all. If anything, the storylines have become better, and it's just become better all the way around.
She's made herself look really bad saying the things that she has.
Mm-hmm.
They gave her a lot of opportunities, and she's basically slapping them in the face.
Yeah, that's the thing. They gave it to her. She didn't earn it. So that's why
Yeah.
I think we don't miss her much. She's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
I liked her. I mean, I didn't, but she was okay in MMA, but I just, I don't even think about her anymore.
Yeah, she's burning bridges everywhere, like with MMA and with that. I don't know, but maybe she wants to do that. Who knows? Controversy.
But it sounds like she burned bridges with Joe Rogan too.
Yeah.
Really? What'd she do with him?
I guess there was a conflict between the two of them. He didn't agree with some of the things she said.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I saw her recently on a podcast, and she was talking about a lot of her like past trauma and stuff. And apparently, when she was in the UFC, she was concussed for a lot of her fights and stuff because she didn't have a lot of time off. She always filled in when they needed somebody to be on the card, and so she was having like 3 fights a year, which is kind of like a lot for a competitor in MMA. But Lorenzo, you'll have to let me know how that book is, man. I didn't realize you had even bought that book.
Yeah, from what I've seen her go around and tell like excerpts from it, it's just a bunch of talking shit and burning bridges with everyone.
Well, that
And-
means it's good then.
Yeah, and nothing against her. I didn't see her run. I'm sure she was great, and they made her great, a champion. But if she's working concussed, like that's her own doing. You know, no one. She could have stepped out at any time. Like,
Amen.
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
she's making false accusations against, supposed people
Drew.
making inappropriate passes in the locker room. And it's like, okay, it's one thing if you have proof, but when you're dragging somebody's name without any proof, that's just bad.
Right.
I do know when she fought Misha Tate in the post game interview, Misha Tate said she stunk.
Like a fart stunk, or like
No, she
Yeah, like-
shit her pants.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
Misha, they was like, Misha, what do you think about? I mean, I'll never forget it. They was like, Misha, what do you think about the fight? She said, Ronda Rousey stinks. And they was like, career wise, she's like, no, she literally stinks.
You mean like National Tuna Day stinks?
Misha Tate said she stunk, and I just
She-
took it and ran with it.
Well, she shit her pants.
Yeah,
she got
did.
she
Shit her
got the
pants.
shit kicked out of her, man.
oh man,
I thought it was hilarious. Nobody else laughed at the press conference. They was all like, "Oh, so you're saying she's like her skills suck?" And she was like, "That too," but like she literally stinks. And I thought it was hilarious.
I think it's hilarious now.
I'll never look at Ronda Rousey the same.
Yeah.
Nothing's off limits here. We laugh at everything.
Poor Ronda,
poor
man.
Ronda. Poor Ronda. Yeah, poor Ronda.
Fuck her.
Well,
Not if she stinks.
she probably don't smell bad now. You know, it's been a few years. If she still got dirty bridges now, then something wrong with her.
Dirty britches.
Dirty bridges.
That's
Walking
a
around
That's the
like
name of her next book.
Dirty britches. I did think it was pretty funny that her book and Becky Lynch's book kind of came out around the same time, because like she was talking shit about Becky Lynch or something. But anyways, we'll move into Raw rewatch. So for those that aren't aware, a few of the boys have been watching Raw since the beginning. Like they went back and they started from episode 1. And they've been doing that for a few months now. So you guys are pretty deep into it, I would imagine now. Probably 94, 95 by now.
Mid 94 for me still.
Yeah, I'm coming into 94.
Okay. And so what's going on right now with the Raw rewatch?
So I'm just past King of the Ring 94, heading into SummerSlam 94. We're getting ready to get up to the 2-hour episode soon. So it's been great. The memories, looking back, it's been great.
That's
And
awesome.
I'm just behind him because I'm going into they're talking about King of the Ring now, so I'm not too far behind him, but yeah, right there. Again, just like I've always said, great storytelling. You can tell the booking and the writers really enjoy what they're doing, and it shows. And it's just at that point, it was a great time, just like it is now watching it. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. It's just nothing like today at all. It's just amazing and awesome.
One thing I could say, especially this time in wrestling, they were definitely, I'll use the phrase, throwing shit at the wall and seeing if it sticks when
Yep.
it comes with characters.
Yeah.
You'd see all different types of guys who would show up for like a match, 2 matches, gimmicks that you'd see one time, or the next match is this guy, and then you'd never hear from him again.
Yeah.
So, it was like, one of those where you go, Well, that guy sucked.
Hey, you know why they were never heard of again? Because Bobby the Brain Heenan wasn't their manager.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Listen, go to the top.
The cream team?
The cream team.
Cream team.
Well, I haven't been participating in the Raw rewatch from the beginning. I did continue my Attitude Era rewatch, and I'm up to Unforgiven 1999, where they had like a 6-pack kind of challenge to determine the number one contender. And I keep falling asleep while watching it because I watch it late at night before bed. So I got to go back and finish the main event. But I don't know who's champion right now. I'm thinking that it might be Triple H because he's kind of the one that's getting the biggest push at that time. And crying on TV about how he ain't got, he keeps getting screwed out of his belt and all that. But it's been a good pay-per-view so far. Of course, I haven't seen it since it came out live. So it's basically like watching it over again. And I thought it was funny earlier when you pointed out Big Boss Man's birthday because he had that dog kennel match with Al Snow at that pay-per-view. Yeah, with the it had like the steel cage and then the Hell in a Cell around it. So that was
so bad.
Hey, one of those
I loved
photos
it,
we
though.
got for pre-order is Al Snow and Pepper, which was the dog he ate, which was him and Big Boss Man.
Al Snow tells a story about that match. He says them dogs were shitting everywhere.
I
A lot
mean
of
that's
shit in this episode.
yeah.
So Ben, you're
There's a
meeting
lot of
Al
shit
Snow.
going on.
Can we get a thing of pepper, a container of pepper signed by him?
That's a good idea. He'd probably be like, "What's the pepper for?" But yes,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
like he doesn't even remember his own shit.
I
yeah,
don't give a damn if he likes it or not. Tell him to sign it.
I will. Like I said, we have Al Snow this weekend. I talked to him just right after our live on Tuesday. He's excited. I'm pumped. We have him from Saturday from 11 to 3. So if you haven't placed your pre-orders, you still have time. You have till tomorrow night by 8 p.m. And then if you missed anything earlier tonight, we did the pre-orders for Fred Ottman, Tugboat Typhoon, Shockmaster. We have a lot of good images there. It's a lot of TLC exclusives. But I am pumped to see Al Snow this weekend. So, yeah, it's not too late to get any of the pre-orders in for that. Just hit me up. Yeah, what everybody want, they want head.
That's right, man. And Ray was asking who the new face is. We got 2 guests in the house with us tonight. We got Mr. Areola from That's All Funny and That's All Kayfabe podcast from YouTube, as well as TRC member The Insider Manual. So that's who the people are. But anyways, Dr. Nick, didn't you say you were going to start WCW? Have you gotten around to doing that yet?
Yeah. I'm just now getting into 97. And a lot of people have rose-colored glasses when it comes to Monday Night Nitro. Everybody was like, oh, 96 was so good. It was good. There was ups and downs. And, there was a lot of matches where you've seen a lot of guys who, like, I will tell you this. I will give this man all the credit in the world. Mark Mero, when he was in WCW before he, came over to the WWE, a lot of the stuff that he was doing, as the flamboyant gimmick that he did.
Johnny B.
Guys
Bad?
the Johnny B. Bad. Guys like that. Guys like William Regal. Even before Hogan got there, you got a lot of really big talent that were just hitting their stride. So one thing I could say about, getting into 97, of course you have, the famous pay-per-view of Hogan versus Sting at Starrcade. You have, wasn't it also 97 where Diamond Dallas Page and Randy Savage?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're hitting that really sweet spot of the NWO is at its highest. You have a lot of different feuds going on. WWE is like, they haven't like overtaken them, but like you can kind of see the shift a little bit. But you know, at that time, I watched both of them. I didn't care about ratings. I still don't. I just love the fact that I was able to watch wrestling, you know, on two different TVs.
Right.
That's one thing this generation, you know, will never understand. But
That's true.
it's getting really good.
My first ever pay per view was Halloween Havoc, I believe, as a kid. Like the first one I ever bought, or my parents bought it, but you had to go to the cable company and rent the box, and they gave you a free gift, and it was like a Magic 8-ball with the Halloween Havoc dude imprinted
Oh,
on
wow.
That's
Yeah.
Yes,
badass.
I had that.
That's what
Yeah.
WCW was so good about. Their stages were always so cool too.
Yeah, I remember that was like, as a kid, you were like, "Oh man, this is the coolest thing!" And Magic 8-ball, and I don't know what happened to it. As a kid, you probably just broke it or something.
Yeah,
but-
broke through it, hit it with a bat.
yeah, drank what's inside of it. I don't know
Yeah.
what we did,
Oh,
right?
man.
But you know, they were always fun. Look, as a kid, looking back on it, yeah, I love WCW probably more. But now, yeah, like you said, looking back at it, it's like, you know, as an adult.
That's what's so great about Tuesday nights when we go live is because we have so much of that stuff, those collectibles, and we're able to put those up on Tuesdays and show people. And so most people wouldn't remember those like gifts and stuff from, you know, getting a pay-per-view or, you know, even renting the movies. We talk a lot about renting the movies, you know, at the video store. And, you know, we always have different things like that up for sale on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
a great reminder.
I've got quite a few Coliseum video things from you guys.
Yeah, that's a great reminder that he said about that pay-per-view. And another thing too, a lot of people that are younger than us wouldn't even realize that you used to have to go to the cable company and rent the box, bring it home, hook it up with Max cables, and you know, then when it was time for the event to start, you had to call the cable company, let them know, you know, hey, I'm buying, you know, Royal Rumble 95 or whatever it was. And then you had to wait a couple minutes for them to send the signal through for you to actually get that pay-per-view. So that's a very good point. Very
No button pressing. You had to call.
I know when I was a kid and we didn't order, you know, you put it on the station, the TV would be all blurry and like you could hear it, but you couldn't see it. I remember one time I watched it and like it froze, like wasn't really freeze, but like it came in clear. And I watched like 3 whole matches and I was like, this is some good shit. And then it went back to like being blurry, and I was like, yeah, fuck this, I'm going to bed. I mean, because you can hear it all day. You'd be like, you know, Shawn Michaels with the kick out, you know, he's setting up for the Sweet Chin Music, and you're like, oh, okay. And then it comes in clear, and the next thing you know, like it goes back blurry, and like you just hear like Vince McMahon going off in a headset. You know, I'm just like, man, this is.
Oh yeah, yeah. I listen to many pay-per-views that way with the blurry screen going crazy, and you couldn't see anything, but you could hear everything. I listened to many pay-per-views that way.
Bunch of thieves. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, then back then they had, you know, the previews, and you went on and you called in, and then you're sitting there praying because you don't know if you bought it yet, because they always had a preview. And you're like praying, God, I hope he did, because I don't want to wait in line another 20 minutes for the cable company.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
Well,
because
they were expensive
you
too.
couldn't call in to
Yeah.
order it until like 5 minutes or 10 minutes beforehand. And then it took you X amount of minutes to get through to an operator for the operator to put the signal through for you to get it. So most of the time you got it on time. Sometimes you got it like 5 minutes later, 3 minutes later after it already started. So, but you knew, you know, when it kicked on and you saw that black screen with the writing on there, you know, talking about copywriting and all that stuff, you knew it was about to be on. And you were excited then, especially as a kid, man. It was just so cool. Because you're like, you know, I've been waiting for, you know, what seemed like forever to watch the pay-per-view, and then, you know, you finally get it, and just great times. So nostalgic. If you didn't get to experience that, you truly missed out.
then you get to hit the record button on the VCR, and you're set.
Yeah.
No,
Gotta go down.
I was too scared of that. I really thought those FBI would find you if you recorded it.
Hell, I got boxes and boxes of recorded pay-per-views, and hell, if the FBI ever raided my house, I'd be in deep shit.
They're coming there now.
They'd be like, "That's it, you're going to jail." You've got SummerSlam 95, Royal Rumble 94.
Oh, that's big time right there, Royal Rumble 94.
You recorded over Little Billy's birthday?
Fuck Little Belly.
Yeah, I mean, like it'd be like World Rumble '96, and it'd be like Timmy's bar mitzvah, and like,
Yep.
Timmy
Because you'd be
don't
looking for a tape and you didn't know which one to get, so you didn't care. It'd say family reunion. Fuck your family. Put that in
Grandma
there.
will turn 90 again. It's fine.
Kevin says that's not the only thing that you watch on those channels. That's true. Nobody watches those on TV anymore, though. I don't think. And then wasn't it like $29.95 back in the 90s? I think. I mean, it almost seemed like every other year it was going from like
Mania was more
$29.95.
expensive. Mania was like $50.
Yeah, I remember it would go from like 29 to 39 to 49, and then 69 was the most expensive I ever saw, and that was for
Nice.
Mania. 69.
69 is an expensive
You might
number.
not remember this, but just to get the VHS tape, and we're talking all the way back in like the late 80s, really early 90s, just to get a copy of the VHS tape, which that was a whole experience itself to buy a copy of a VHS tape back then, was a minimum of $39.95
Yep.
back then. $39.95 back then.
Shipping and handling too.
You got to think about, how expensive that really truly was, back then. And then you had to fill out an order form. You had to write out a check. No shit. This is how it went. You had to write out a check. You had to put it in an envelope. You had to address it to where it had to go. You had to put a stamp on it and mail it. You had to wait about 2 months for them to send it back with your tape. That's how it
No
was.
checking tracking. You just went. You just use your imagination on when it was going to get there.
Yeah.
You look at the mailbox every damn day.
Mhm.
Yep.
You
See-
prayed to every god to see. I hope it didn't get lost in the mail. I hope I put enough postage on that thing. I hope it gets to me somehow.
That's how it was back then. I mean, nothing like it is today. And then, you go back through anybody that has any old copies of WWF magazine. A lot of us here have a huge collection of the old copies of the WWF magazine, and you just flip through it and you look at how much they're advertising the tapes for. $39.95 was like the average price, and that's starting all the way back in 1985 when they released the first WrestleMania. Can you imagine even back then? Because they released the first WrestleMania, I think the first 2 or 3 on both VHS and Beta. Can you imagine paying $39.95 for your Beta tape back in 1985
Yeah, because I mean, like, wasn't rent like $300 in the 80s?
or less?
Yeah. So like, I can either buy this VHS tape,
Yeah.
or I can live in this house.
Yeah, literally. I mean, you got to think about how expensive that was back then.
Oh yeah.
It was big money. I mean, if you look at it in today's money, and you guys can research this, say whatever you want. That's about $399 in today's.
Sure.
That's
believe it.
crazy.
This
That's
economy.
how expensive that was in 1985. It's crazy, but that's how it was. And look at how much all of us, and I know a lot of us have collected them as we've gotten older, but a lot of us had them and still have some from when we were kids. And we didn't really think about it, asking our moms or dads or grandmas or whoever, to buy us this VHS tape that was $39.95. We just thought, we just needed the VHS tape. We didn't realize how much $39.95 was.
Yeah,
$6.95 was expensive for figures.
that's true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, remember going to KB Toys? I'm sure you guys remember KB Toys going in and getting your Hasbros, and they were 3 for $10.
Yep.
And you didn't always get 3 for $10. You might get one. You're talking $3.33 for a toy. That was some money back then.
Exactly.
3 for $10 was a big damn day at KB Toys. You were going straight home, straight to the house. You were shutting the hell up, and you're going to play with your Hasbros and your Hasbro ring because you didn't want anything to stop you after you went and got a 3 for $10 Hasbro deal.
So
And,
I graduated in 1993.
Sorry, I'm
Go on.
almost done. You
You're
had to make a hard decision too. If you were getting the 3 for $10, you had to decide which 3 you were picking up. And that was, you're talking about a hard decision. You know, here you're at KB Toys and they got this whole big WWE Hasbro section. And you're like, man, which 3 am I taking home today? And you're like, should I get the Steiner? Should I get the Doink? Should I get the Brett? Should I get the Yoke? I mean, that was a big decision. Go ahead, Kev.
I was just going to say the money difference. I graduated in '93, so my first apartment was a 2-bedroom apartment, and it was $275 a month. And to me, that was expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause
yeah.
I mean, nowadays that'd be like 2,000 or like,
Yeah.
well, it'd be more like 1,500.
Well, minimum wage back then was probably what, $3.25, $4 maybe?
Yeah.
It was first
Still
job I had
is.
was $4 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I tell you, there's a lot of things that I like about present time as far as technology goes, but I would much rather live the way that it used to be, even though now it seems so like much of a hassle and complicated and stuff. I feel like the reason that people always say that life was so much better in the 90s and the early 2000s was probably because they're not exposed to so much negativity. You know, nowadays you have access to literally anything you want, and it has access to you. So any
And you're never
drama,
alone. You're
Yeah.
never alone.
any drama or bad news that's going on around you, you could hear about it immediately. Hell, I have a watch that dings me all day, and I'm like, please leave me alone. Like, I just want to work and like hate this on my own today. Like, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I miss it, man. I thought it was way better just having a PlayStation 1 and a Nintendo 64 and watching Monday Night Raw. You know, wrestling came on one night a week, and it was a big night, you know, because you had both channels going. And then occasionally you get the Sunday night pay-per-views and stuff. And
I had
boxing was huge in the 90s too.
I had ColecoVision and Memphis Wrestling on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, Saturday morning cartoons. That's another thing that you don't really get anymore.
And I had WCCW and then NWA over in off of Turner.
Yeah, it's good times, man. Good
We
times.
bunch
You
of
didn't
old
have-
people. We old.
You didn't have the internet to spoil it for you if you hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah,
You know, like Facebook or like you swear you're like, oh, I'm gonna go home and watch it. You open up Facebook. Oh man, what happened at this? It's like, oh, I shouldn't have checked it. What am I?
and we don't get
doing?
magazines anymore because of the internet too. You know, what are they going to post an interview in a magazine that millions of people already watched, like the night that it happened, live on
still love-
YouTube?
I'd buy it if they still release magazines.
I would too, but that's the thing. Like, we love it
Pro
so
Wrestling
much.
Illustrated still publishes.
Yeah, I think that's maybe quarterly. I don't know about monthly.
Yeah, it's every month.
Oh, well, shit. It ain't
They're
Raw
gonna
and
go-
SmackDown magazine though.
They're gonna go
No.
bankrupt then.
Yeah, probably. I don't know, man. I was in Books a Million last weekend, and just a novel, like a fiction novel, soft cover, was like $20. And I'm like, damn. Because like when I was a kid, I know that thing would have been $6.50 or $7.99. $20, you know, yeah, I know inflation is different now, but like I probably would have bought it back in the day at that currency level for $6.50. But like I'm not paying $20 for a fucking book now unless it's like a really, really interesting book. But then
I
again,
used to,
you spend $40-$50 to eat out now for two people. So
I used to get books from the library in order to save money, but then I thought to myself, how many of these people are reading these books while taking a dump?
Jesus.
or worse.
I don't know if I want to get these books anymore.
Why are these pages sticky?
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like the last
Oh.
person that read that book was taking a shit and then returned it.
Yeah. I
Why
mean,
is it always you, Dr. Nick, that thinks about taking a dump?
I don't
it's
know.
either poo-poo, farts.
Well, I thought of AEW, so you know.
Taking a dump.
Shitting on Jake Roberts. I mean,
This guy
Well,
asked him what a,
I'm
what
glad
kind
y'all
of
joined us
doctor?
this week because next week we're gonna get canceled.
Somebody said All Elite Wrestling. I was like, oh,
I gotta go to the bathroom.
sponsored by Pepto Bismol.
Oh, good Lord.
So you're
Yeah.
trying to say Tony Khan's neck wouldn't really hurt?
What? You
I
mean
don't
to tell
believe
me it's fake? No.
was
Yeah,
hurt.
kayfabe.
He was hurt. He was at the damn football draft hurt.
See, I'm probably the only one that
Oh, and
actually
he
likes
compared
AEW.
WWE to Harvey Weinstein, by the way.
You got me, Manuel.
I like AEW. I enjoyed it on Wednesdays.
Oops, we just lost 15 viewers.
I do. I enjoy it.
No, I enjoy it too, but you're in the wrong chat to be talking about AEW. We lose viewers.
Well, I'd say Brian is the one that hates on it the most, and he's not here today. So
Ken's got to pick up the match.
comment. Roger had the comment of the night and of the week. He's like, "Oh, we just lost 15 viewers."
Whoops, my bad.
nah. He's
No, it's
just
all
joking.
good.
Hey,
It's
that's
all
your right.
good.
If you like it, you watch it.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move into our final segment of the evening, show and tell. This is where we show off things from the collection, typically stuff that you got recently, or just anything you got laying around that you want to share with everybody. And you don't have to participate either. And Dr. Nick, you're not allowed to fart or shit during the segment, or show us farts or shits on paper or anything like that.
Guess I'll put that sign down.
Or an old book that you think somebody might have read while on the shitter.
Yeah, none of that.
None of that.
No predictions for this weekend's pay-per-view. Yes, Mr. Van Gelder. There will be no predictions. I didn't know there was a pay-per-view this weekend, but
Oh, yeah, I forgot all about
I
that.
think it's Backlash, right?
Backlash.
Yeah.
oh shit, that is this weekend.
From
Yeah,
France.
yeah.
You
Time's
can't
been
say
flying by, man. Oh yeah, I can't say shit. My bad. Well, I only have two things to show off this week for show and tell, so it won't take me very long. I got the Ted DiBiase pop figure from GameStop because apparently I didn't
Stop
have this.
exclusive.
GameStop exclusive. They had a pretty good deal going on, man. I got this thing for like $4.
Yeah.
They had like
They got
40%
great
off
deals.
their GameStop exclusive pops or something like that. And it's stacked with my pro membership, so I got 50% off. And then the second thing I got, real excited about this one. I bought this off of Dr. Nick. He had an extra one. John Nada. Oh, Roddy Piper with man, these glasses, dude. They don't like staying on there. But yeah, from the They Live movie, which is a fantastic movie that I did not see until last year.
Great movie.
Great.
Highly recommend it. Really cool.
With a 15-minute fight scene.
The greatest fight scene ever.
The
It
longest
was
fight
pretty
scene ever.
Yeah.
I think on Guinness World Records, the longest fight scene ever.
Put on the glasses.
I mean, hey, just imagine how Roddy felt. He's like, I'm shooting a movie, but today I'm having a wrestling match at work.
With the voice of Spawn.
Is that the voice of Spawn? Craig
Yeah.
David?
Yeah.
Keith David?
Keith David. That's it.
Yeah.
I love that guy, man. He's done a lot of voice work in a lot of video games.
Mhm.
St. Grove.
Yep. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, he was your captain.
Rick
Or
and
not
Morty.
captain, but somebody. Yeah, he's in Rick and Morty. Yep.
President.
But yeah, I asked Nick to ship it loose to save him some shipping, and this mofo sent it to me in the box. Damn good shipping, protection. But yeah, man, I was trying to save you some bucks there, but I mean, you spared no expense for me, so I appreciate it.
All good, brother.
All right, Will, you're up next.
I think everybody this week probably picked up a Yoko Ultimate. I was going to show that, but kind of no point. I picked up that and the Lou Albano. But one thing I will show is my NWO World Heavyweight Championship replica belt. And not only is it a replica belt, but it is signed by Hollywood Hogan.
Holy
Nice.
shit.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah, brother.
Other side's got the inscription NWO Too Sweet.
Wow.
I mean,
I'm about
That
to
is
finger poke
awesome.
you for that.
like I
Damn
said, I can show the figures everybody had, everybody picked up this week, or I could show something that I wanted to kind of share with everybody. I showed my Roman signed belt a couple weeks ago, and
That's gorgeous.
figured I'd show you
Yeah,
my signed Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan belt.
that's stunning right there. That
Thank
deserves a grunt.
Thank you.
That's pretty good, man. You know. So did you go to the beach shop and get that, or did you order it?
No, I've actually had it for quite a while. I literally just, because we've been going through so much stuff trying to dig out and get rid of and condense down, and just recently pulled it out and was like, man, I've never really shown my belts. I've only ever shown a couple, and I've never really shown my signed belts. So I was like, I better pull that out and show that bad boy. So
That's
Claim,
what she said.
claim.
yeah.
You ain't getting that belt.
I claim some bitch. I don't care if I get it or not. At least I say claim.
You go to
Hey,
the
I
beach
claimed,
shop.
I claimed Ben's hat and didn't get it, so
Yeah.
I even won the bid on it.
Yep. So that's
Yeah,
that's
man.
all I'm gonna show. That's all I'm gonna show this week. I mean, I got some great stuff in the mail. Kev and I both got something really cool in the mail that we were both really wanting, and I'm sure at some point we'll show that, but not tonight, right, Kev?
Right.
Do you have a 24/7 championship? Because you need to be careful. Watch your back when you have a belt around like that.
I,
Anybody
4, 7,
continue.
11, 13.
I do not. I wish I had the old I-95 championship, but I don't have it. So, but
Right
Roger's
there.
got one.
the belt that I really want
Oh
is
shoot!
the Rock's new People's Champion belt. I really like that one a lot.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah, I
sweet.
want that one too.
Got to add it to the list.
Yep.
All right, Roger, it's your turn for show and tell, man.
Well, I got quite a few things. I got some packages in from Will, and I got some packages in from Ben. Plus, I picked some stuff up this week as well. I got this from Ben. Ben, you'll have to help me with this one.
That is Shanghai Pierce and Tex. I can't even say his last name.
Passenger.
Schlesinger.
Yeah, that's a tongue twister. Yeah, that was our first gimmick, which is Mark and Dennis, which is Phineas and Henry Godwin. That was their very first gimmick in WCW back in '92.
Hell yeah.
Love that tag team.
I thought it was funny how you asked Ben for help, and then your help needed help from Kev.
That's right.
I couldn't remember I knew who they were, but I couldn't remember who they were prior, what their name was. That's why I asked. And then I got a where'd it go? Oh, a Rey Mysterio figure from Ben.
Oh yeah, the
Batman.
Batman.
To go to my collection, the Batman Rey Mysterio.
I like that.
And then from Will, I had to have this, and we all know why. I had to have this. I'm in love with this one, but I had to have this. As a matter of fact, he called me out when he was selling it, and I just jumped in and I heard him, and I scooped it up immediately.
You said, I'll pay $2 million.
Didn't we see her at the bar in Indy?
I think that picture is so much better than the one she had in Indy.
Yeah.
And it's already certified, and it's cheaper.
Yep.
You know,
And
Get out of the black light.
I believe I did hear you guys saw her at the bar in.
Yeah,
we did.
she was at the bar when I was watching the Tennessee game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she has some nice assets.
Yes, she does. Yes,
but
she.
she wasn't wearing makeup, and
No,
it was kind of rough.
yes, but she had a
Really?
nice ass.
Damn.
Body was
Damn.
great.
Damn.
The body was great, but with no makeup, you could tell.
It was a better face.
Damn. And then I got the Alexa Bliss, because everybody knows you can't have too many Blisses.
Oh,
There's
hell yeah.
someone that doesn't need makeup to look good.
She's gorgeous.
I'm kind of upset that she doesn't look good with makeup. It kind of upsets me.
No, she
But-
does look good with and without makeup.
Are you talking about Scott Blue?
No, I'm talking about Sky Blue.
Oh no.
That's why you
So
turn the lights
I found a. What did you say?
Turn the lights off. Problem solved.
There you go.
Malachi Black.
I found a British Bulldog Big Boss Man Championship Showdown 2-pack.
Wow, that's from like around what I'm doing right now too, because British Bulldog just came back and was the special referee. And
Yeah, it was funny how Manuel said it was his birthday today, and I was like, "Oh, I'm pulling this out." So I found the. I'm gonna be quick about these. Found the Logan Paul Prime with the Prime, which the wife was telling me. I guess there's a lawsuit against him for saying that the ingredients are more powerful than they said. So there's a lawsuit against him against Prime, which is kind of funny because WWE just made Prime their sponsor. So that's kind of funny.
Man, I tell you what, Logan Paul is just he is just a magnet for trouble.
Yep, you're right. So I found this Bret Hart.
Nice.
Series 146.
Nice. I like that.
I do too. It looks good. Found the whole Imperium. So Series 145 Gunther.
Looks like a dog chewed a quarter over that off.
Yeah, I got it at Walmart, so I'm not that worried about it. It's going to be encapsulated later down the road by Jeff Love and APG grading anyway. So
it was probably a dog, or it was probably a kid instead of a dog.
Probably.
It was from Walmart.
I don't care. I got it, so that's all that matters. Giovanni Vinci Series 146.
Hell yeah.
And then Ludwig Kaiser Series 145.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that is the luckiest man in the whole wide world.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, who's he dating now?
Tiffy time.
Tiffy time.
Oh,
titty time. I mean Tiffy time.
Yeah, titty time. You get it right.
So
Titty
just
time.
so I can lose a couple more viewers real fast. Manuel will know this.
Oh,
That's
nice.
daddy ass.
I found a Chase Limited Billy Gunn daddy ass.
Daddy
Ain't
ass.
nothing wrong with daddy ass.
Nice.
and you can damn sure suck it.
And I found the
Anthony Bowen.
Anthony Bowens and then the Max Caster.
Everybody
Scissor
loves
me,
the Acclaim.
bitches.
Everybody loves the Acclaim.
Scissor in action.
And then last but not least, the Ultimate Warrior, the Target exclusive.
Oh, hell yeah.
Warrior. Thanks to Mr. William Hudson, Tribal Chief, for letting me know that was the right one I was supposed to get.
SummerSlam 91, baby.
Telling you. And Cody Rhodes and everybody everybody got it. The Yoko.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Speak for yourself. I'm going this weekend to try to get one, but I haven't got one yet.
I want the Chase Yoko.
Everybody wants to chase Yoko.
That's the colors. That's the colors he debuted in.
I'm actually about to see if they have it for pickup, and I might just buy it so they can hold it.
The Chase Yoko has poop in its pants.
Whoa.
That's why Dr. Nick wants it.
Ah,
Dr. Nick.
Bonsai.
Yokozuna. $32.99. Jeez.
Yep.
Yoko Ono.
that's
Say-
cheap for an ultimate.
Ah, look at that. Pickup not available. Sweet.
Have it shipped to you.
Man, I don't want to do that.
All you're gonna do is turn around and they're gonna sit there and tell you that they don't have it in stock when you want to have it shipped to you anyway.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, if I was gonna get it shipped, I'd just buy it from one of these guys.
I got lucky. I went to a Target and they said they had them, so I had one. I bought one there and had me pick it up there. They ended up having two more. So
Wait, what?
Yeah, they had three altogether. So I mean,
you didn't buy me one?
If I'd have known, Stevie, I was just about to say before you rudely interrupted me. If you need me to pick you up one, Stevie, I can go grab you one.
Yes, please. Yeah, because I
Rudely interrupted him.
rudely interrupted. Yeah, fuck Steve, man. You know.
Yep.
Fuck that guy.
I mean, why would I want to pay Target $32.99 when I could pay you $45 or whatever it'll end up being with the shipping? You know.
I mean, why would you want to do that?
Paying more builds a character.
Yeah, I'll go back, and if they got it, I'll scoop one up for you, Stevie. Too easy.
I appreciate it, man. And also, as always, check for that Cody Rhodes pop figure.
Always, I got you, man.
Even though I know that thing is fucking gone. Like, I'm not ever
Oh
gonna
yeah,
get that.
that's like a unicorn. You ain't gonna find that nowhere.
No, I have to wait for the next one. It's all good though. All right, Ben.
All right, as you know,
Yeah.
last weekend, our guest was Jacques Rougeau. The Mountie was an excellent guest. Loved him. We had a great time there at the Bluegrass WrestleCon #6. I had a fun time. I got to do some things, living the dream. Got to do the podcast, listening to the podcast with Shane Douglas and him, and I got to eat dinner with Shane Douglas. Then the next morning, got to eat breakfast with Haku and Jock. So that was a good trip. This weekend's got Al Snow, but from that trip, in which we're talking about the Big Boss Man's birthday today, one of my favorite matches with them in it was the SummerSlam of '91. So I had him inscribed SummerSlam '91 on this one, and I love this shot from that jailhouse match right after he lost to Big Boss Man and went to the jail in New York. That was my one and only thing I got this week. I had some VHSs come in, but I'm over at the house, so those are over at the parents. But that's about it. That's all I got this week.
Hell yeah. One and done. So you like me, man. You just had a couple things, you know. But mostly your show and tell experience was better than a lot of the stuff that we showed.
Yes, and like I said, that's what I told him. I was like, for me, I'm doing this. I'm living the dream. I said yes, making a little bit extra money, but you know, it's to hear the stories, to be around the guys, the talent, to see, you know, every one of y'all at the shows. When, like I said, we all meet up at the shows and the members. Like I said, that's a blast for me. I get to hang out with everybody, talk about wrestling, see wrestlers, and you know, it's, you know, the best. You know, right now here, and I'm 40 years old and living my best life.
See Scott Norton cut a promo on Manuel at breakfast.
Yep.
Just
I
to
did.
highlight
He did. Now when I saw him for a private signing a few weeks afterwards, thinking of a paint marker, I had the blue paint marker, and him and Buffer like getting high off the damn fumes from the paint marker.
Damn.
But he got a problem when I shake one.
Yeah.
Wow. All
Sorry,
right, Dr.
Mr.
Nick.
All right. So I played the long game on the first half, but I got the new set. I got the Ichiban Hogan. This is the regular edition. I still need to get the chase. I got Captain Lou. I got Sultan.
I love they went with that new packaging that it's
Oh,
like
I love it.
almost the
Are
same
those
as
out at
Defining
Target?
Moments.
Is that where those are?
Yep, Muhammad Ali. I got these shipped to me. I bought them on Target.com. And then I got the previous set, the Hulk Hogan.
For some reason, when you said ship there, I was thinking about that Kmart commercial. I just shipped my bed.
Got the Iron Sheik. Got, yeah, baby, Jimmy Hart.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
And
true
then-
story. True story. I'm gonna tell you real quick about that Jimmy Hart. I just found out you might want to invest in getting his autograph on there if you do, or if you're an autograph collector. Just found out that he's doing the upcharge like Honky Tonk Man. Don't know if it's hasn't seen him do it yet, but he's gonna be charging now $100 to sign that figure.
Oh man.
Yep.
Shit.
Now I'm gonna see him in next weekend, but
Got
and I'm gonna
the
see if that's true. But
Warrior. Man, I knew I should have got that damn thing signed in Indy. Damn. But that's all I. Oh no, I got one more thing. Hold on.
Damn,
what the
baby.
hell did I do with it? Oh, so I was looking through my boxes and I found this. These things were so freaking weird, but I love these. The classic superstars. This
Oh,
Freddie
hell yeah.
Blassie. Please explain to me why he came with a sombrero. I don't understand that. I don't remember him ever wearing a sombrero.
I feel represented.
Kev's on mute. You feel represented?
Yeah, I was fucking sitting there talking. Anyway, he wore one to the ring when he used to wrestle.
But why? He wasn't Mexican.
He wore it just for the hell of it.
Oh,
It's
all right.
classy, man. It's
I like to
classy.
eat their Mexican food, and I ain't Mexican.
Well, I know, but it just didn't make sense to me.
Sombrero. It doesn't make sense, and I guess that worked for him, you know. Kev, it's your turn, actually, man. You got something for show and tell today?
Yeah, I got 3 things.
Yeah, keep the camera above your shoulders, though. All right, not that kind of show and tell, man.
Fuck you.
Well, you're laying in bed, so
This is
Well, I've
Vader's
also had
Twitter.
flu A for the past week and a half, so
you had what?
flu A.
Oh, damn.
So you're lucky
you-
I'm graced you with your my presence.
Yeah, you graced me with my presence.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Son, Tommy Rich, Pint Size, All Stars.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Looks good.
Yellow is a good choice for that. Matches his hair.
Sasha Banks signed, courtesy of the Tribal Chief.
Hell yeah.
Nice. That one also matches the hair.
And then another William Hudson special. This is my last one. It's signed in orange. Total package Lex Luger.
Oh yeah, that one does not match the hair, but it still looks good.
Trunks.
And-
The trunks.
2-time world heavyweight champion.
I have a lot of things signed in orange. It's my favorite. So
Yo, I'm not judging at all. I think orange paint pen is the sexiest.
it is sexy.
Basically, what I'm doing is I'm trying to work you up to coming down to the Gathering convention,
I'm there.
and then you just slap my ass for giving you a hard
I'm not
time.
touching your ass, brother.
Thanks, brother.
I'll give you a hug.
You gonna hug my ass?
brother.
Nope.
Look, man, it's after hours. You know, that's when the weird stuff comes out. All right, Lorenzo, did you have something you wanted to do with show and tell?
I got a random figurine here that I remember buying from GameStop when they were on discount.
cool.
Yeah. I don't collect very much of a lot of I don't have a big collection of a lot of things. I collect random things, you know. This was on discount. I like stuff that's on sale. I
That's
don't
the
know
one
if you
with the poster.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this guy. I think he's in WWE right now. I forget. But I thought it was pretty cool, and I just have
Yeah,
it here on my
I
wall.
think he finished his story.
Fuck that story.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that
mysteries.
and then some random Backlash DVD that I
Oh, we
found.
love
under-
DVDs here. Yeah.
Yeah, and it might be signed by John Cena. I don't know if that's real.
Fuck
but
yes, it is.
is it?
Looks like it. Yeah, that's how he does it.
Yeah.
So my buddy gave this to me a while back, and he's like, "Oh, it's signed by John Cena," and I was like, "That's cool if it is. If it's not, I mean, it's still a pretty cool DVD." But yeah,
Yeah, I have a couple John Cena's. Everybody here pretty much has a couple, and that's exactly what it looks
Speaking
like.
of that backlash, isn't that Vince and Shane versus Shawn Michaels and God?
Is that the right one?
let me check
I
the
think
back.
you're
of it.
right.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels and God versus Mr. McMahon and Shane McMahon. Yeah,
Wow.
Hell yeah, that's
I love
ruthless
wrestling.
aggression right
I
there.
love wrestling. I love wrestling so much.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's my plan. I'm planning on going through Attitude Era and then through Ruthless Aggression. So
You realize the level of expertise it takes for somebody to remember something like that?
yeah, you're a nerd. I mean, no one ever disputed that for sure.
Proud.
Oh yeah, I don't know, Lorenzo. You probably don't know this, but my brother has been collecting since he was a wee little lad. So he's got like insane stuff. Like we haven't even seen a fourth of it, probably, maybe even an eighth of it. But yeah, this dude is buck wild. When I was a little kid, he used to bring his wrestling figures up because he lives in Florida and I live in North Carolina. So he would visit, and every time he would, I'd try to steal his wrestling figures. I'd be like,
Damn.
"You leaving this for me? You got your own stuff." and like
I
I'd
don't-
cry.
Just real quick, I don't remember if you like when I was a kid. I had a WCW Giant toy, right? The Giant,
Mhm.
and I remember as a kid, it had a button on it where you press it and it vibrates.
Yep,
Yeah.
I have a
And-
bunch of those.
Okay, and as a kid, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, this is the Giant. He's vibrating, cool. Now, when I look back at it with an adult sort of set of eyes, I'm like, was this a woman's pleasuring toy? Or
It was.
It was.
It was fun for the whole family.
how did my mom not like tell me anything? You know, like I don't know. I don't know. What can you tell me about that, sir?
Well,
I
It was-
can't buy those. My
they
wife
made
will
them.
take them from me.
They made them in 1997. It was a company called OSFPM, and the idea was to get them to kind of like pump up in the ring. Was kind of the idea of the vibrating.
Oh yeah, they're like
but
Yeah.
then
Apparently, they all had Parkinson's. I don't know.
yeah, but then of course, everybody took it as a dirty thing later on. But at the time, it was such a cool thing, and they were super cool figures, and you had to collect them all. But now looking back on them, the kid's mom probably had more fun with it than the kid.
Yeah,
poor Paul White was going where no Giant had ever been before.
both hands.
Every
He's in the
house.
other room with DDP going bang.
Yep.
I'm sure
Dang.
Manuel's got some heat.
They stopped that line very quick, if you guys remember. Like they put out the first three was Hogan, Hall, and Nash. They put out, and I
Uh-huh.
think they put out a Lex and a Giant, and then they just basically stopped
Mhm.
because everybody was
They did
like,
a thing. It's Crow version.
"Thing, yeah," and they were like, "We should stop putting out these WCW vibrators at this point."
Glad I'm not the only one to remember that and think it was strange now as an adult. Thank you.
I
put out
literally have one
all
on the
kinds of
shelf,
stuff.
just to the far right of where I'm at. I have one on the top shelf. It's the Hogan one that I have.
Does it still vibrate?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Hell yeah. Too
Yeah,
sweet.
Change those batteries regularly.
I was about to say you're gonna need a 50-pack of double A's.
Oh
Yep.
my god.
All right, man. Close us out, man, with the show and tell.
I got a couple pieces. I got this from the Tribal Chief. It's just,
Woo.
I love it.
I think that's a beautiful. Like Roger said, we're gonna lose 15 more. We're gonna lose 15 more. And then I got this from our buddy, the Doll Man, the great.
Ooh,
The good
Dr.
doctor.
Britt Baker.
I love a good doctor.
She is smoking.
I love her.
So that's
You hear that, Nick? You hear that? He loves a good doctor,
I
man.
love a good doctor. So that's just all I got. Just a couple pieces. Nothing too.
Hey, Stevie, if I can show one more thing real fast.
Sure. Just keep your
So-
hands above your pants.
I got this from the Tribal Chief. I can't figure out how to flip the camera over, so you guys just have to bear with me for a second here. My ugly face. So let me know if you guys can see this or not. It's
Hell
the
yeah.
Fiend
Oh yeah.
Triple Six
It's
jersey
awesome.
signed by Bray
wow.
Wyatt, and it's
Hell yeah.
That's an awesome piece.
centerpiece
You
with
take
my
that damn Cowboys thing down, it'd be even better.
hey, shut your mouth. With my
Notice
Bray
there's
Wyatt,
no rings around that cowboy thing.
with
Whoa.
easy there, Dr. Nick, before I shit on you.
We're talking
With my-
about
with
Bray
my-
Wyatt here.
With my Bray Wyatt pop and my signed Bray Wyatt figure. So it's a complete set.
And you have something else coming coming week that we were talking about, maybe putting next to it too.
Oh yeah. Yes,
Hell
sir.
yeah, man.
I think you
Beautiful.
should too.
Oh, I
Talk
think
about
I will too.
We're all gonna chip in and get you a Philadelphia Eagles flag to put up there.
Yeah, and I'll burn that shit right to the ground and let all y'all see it too.
You should. Why? What's so great about the Eagles? Get a Tampa Bay.
That's right.
Now, see that one I might keep around and put in another room, but
There you go.
Man,
I used to like the
that
Eagles,
Philadelphia Eagles, that shit'll burn real fast. I bet you with enough gasoline.
but the best statement and I'll say this real fast, was by David Akers when they at the year after the draft after the Eagles won the Super Bowl. When he told the Cowboys fans that the last time Cowboys was in the Super Bowl, these draft picks weren't born. That was nice.
They have to finish the story. The Cowboys.
They'll never
Yeah,
finish.
hey,
the
I
damn
tell you
story.
what, last time you could buy a Cowboys Super Bowl on tape, you had to call, you had to mail in a check.
It was beta.
As long as, let's be honest, as long as Jerry's the GM, they ain't getting shit. And I'm a Cowboys fan, and I'm saying that.
He's the Vince McMahon of
Football, yeah.
Yeah, he's Vince McMahon of the Cowboys.
Well, guys, we have concluded the schedule for today. I don't know if Will or Ben, you guys want to close us out with anything, and then we'll go ahead and rock out of here. Or...
Just real quick, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, we've made a cumulative decision to where we're only running for an hour at a time now, and we're leaving the replay up until usually about noon or 1 the following day. So having a great time with that. We rock it out 60 minutes and we get the hell out of there. Great time, a lot of fun with that. And then also pre-order, guys. Get your Al Snow's pre-orders in as fast as possible. You still got plenty of time to get your mail-ins in for Fred Ottman. You got plenty of time to get your pre-orders in for Shockmaster, Typhoon, or Tugboat. My favorite character of the three was Typhoon. So you got plenty of time for all that. So highly recommended, and get those in really quick because you're gonna get some great deals on those. And don't forget, a ton of that stuff is TRC exclusive. So you're not gonna see everybody everywhere with the same stuff. You're gonna have your own individual items that are already listed and shown. So check those out, buy them up, and then Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, it's just 60 minutes. Come hang out. Even if you're not buying, just come hang out, watch the live, check out the nostalgia, the nostalgic merchandise, and just the great stories and the fun time that we have. Going through the sale, we have a great time with that stuff. So really appreciate it, everybody. Thank you all so very much.
Brian wants to know if you have signed ping pong balls of Typhoon.
No.
Nope.
No balls. No balls getting signed. Unless they're mailed in, you pay me pay us $20. Hell yeah. But nothing from our side as pre-orders.
If you want balls signed, you need to add an extra $20 to it too, because
that's a premium item.
Premium.
Yeah,
that's too premium for even us, and we don't upcharge on.
There's an upcharge for that.
Yeah.
No,
Mr. Ottman, can you sign this set of balls?
Exactly.
Yeah, but no. Well, we had some odd gimmick item there on Saturday. You had Jacques sign Corduroys where he actually used a corduroy, and that's when he broke Dynamite Kid's nose using the corduroys. So, but no, like what William said, great points. Check us out on Tuesday nights. Guys, we're a small town business. If you look at it that way, we're small town vendors. So, I mean, you're helping us for us to help you. Like I said, we can't do it without you. If you want more talent, if you want more items and stuff, by you help supporting us, we're helping you. Like I said, right now, this is what number I've done lost count. This will be after Fred will have a total of 7 cards. Now that's what 4. We have had 4 guests already. Then we'll have 2 in August, and then we'll have another 2 in October. So we're going to have over 10 guests, all over the United States. We went to this year, and like I said, that's a lot. That's almost 1 a month, and we're a small town business. But like I said, and we give a shit about you. We care about you. Like I said, we're family. We're not going to just look at you as a money sign or money or green. We love y'all. Like I said, we truly appreciate you. Help support us while we can help support you. Like I said, even on Tuesday nights, if you don't have no money to buy nothing, that's okay. Just come in, hang out with us, go down memory lane, check out the nostalgia stuff. like I said, there's stuff when William throws up, I'm like at all because I'm like, damn, either I never seen it, or I say, man, I could. It brings me back to when I was a kid or an adult, and it's like, man, I wish I had that, or I hadn't seen it in forever. And there's just stuff like that you just never know. But like I said, and you can hear the stories. Like I said, that's the great thing. Like I said, we got the show in Danville this weekend. If you're in St. Louis, we'll be in St. Louis in 2 weeks, May 17th, 18th with Fred. So we got a lot of stuff going on. And like I said, I know we're going to do a little road trip here with the guys here very soon. So we got a lot of stuff coming. So just please continue to check out the page and support us. That's all I got.
And thanks, Lorenzo and Manuel,
Yeah,
for
thank you, guys.
joining us tonight.
Always.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
thank
sure,
you all.
man. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Make sure you join us on Facebook for those lives on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Top Rope Wrestling collectibles and autographs. Thank you so much, and we will catch you next week.